Hello there, everybody. This is CwapTheNintendin here, and you're probably thinking, CWAP, what the hell are you doing not in a Let's Play video? Aren't you supposed to be doing Let's Plays videos? Let's Plays videos, what? Yes, I am technically doing Let's Plays videos. Let's Play. But, however, I did say in a Twilight Princess video that I would be doing a little bit of a sub-series on my channel. What is this called, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. I now welcome you to the first episode of Platinum Impressions, which is basically a name and skin for, hey, I'm doing impressions videos after I beat games. This is basically a series in which I talk about games I just beat or am playing right now, or, well, technically I'm doing games that I just beat, so, yeah. I'm going to be talking about, like, what I really like about the game, what I really dislike about a game, and my final thoughts, and so on and so forth, and whatever. And what better way to start a first episode than by, well, doing an RPG. This is my first episode, and as such, I will be impressing on, you know what, screw it. This is Platinum Impressions Episode 1, Final Fantasy VI. So, I just beat Final Fantasy VI. Oh my god. I mean, like, I was just happy the moment I beat Final Fantasy VI. Like, really happy, like, smiling all the way through. From the final boss to the ending, I'm just, like, wow. This is the first Final Fantasy experience that I actually legitimately enjoyed, because prior to playing this, my Final Fantasy experience has been at best. I did try to play Mystic Quest, but I only got around to playing like 15 minutes of it. But, yeah. And I was just turned off by the first Final Fantasy because, well, again, I only played through like the first part of it, and the game already slammed me with like really hard monsters to deal with, so yeah. I wasn't really turned on by the Final Fantasy series until recently, I might add. That is when I downloaded Final Fantasy VI onto my ZSNES emulator and played it, and 30 plus hours later, here I am. Beating the game, and just all around doing awesomeness. So, I'm basically going through this like category style. First the story and the characters, then the gameplay, then visual and audio, and then complaints. So, let's get to it. So, basically, I'm probably going to spoil some things about the game when it comes to story, but I'll try to keep it spoiler-free as much as I can. So, basically what this game is about is, well, there's this war called the War of the Magi, and it happened like 1,000 years ago. And I guess it devastated the land? I don't really remember. But apparently people have been trying to regain technology. However, magic has been revived, and something called the Empire is going to stop it. With its technology and stuff. So it's kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, except a lot more epic. Of course, you can't get epic with Sonic the Hedgehog, then you get Sonic 06. But anyway. So, we see this former Imperial slave girl or whatever named Terra, and she feels like she doesn't want to be part of the Empire anymore, and she's discovering her true self or something, so she joins this resistance group called the Returners. And yeah, they basically go around trying to stop the Empire, recruiting people, and yeah, they gotta stop the Empire. Meaning this one dude named Kefka, who I might say is the greatest villain in video games. I'm sorry, but it's just my opinion. He's the best. I'm sorry, he is the freaking best. And yeah, he finally overthrew Porky and Facade as my favorite villains. I'm sorry, Porky, you were freaking awesome in Mother 3, but really, Kefka is just everywhere. He's just everywhere, like his empire is like everywhere. Because, well, he's just freaking insane. He's so insane. He poisons your waters. Haha, he just laughs about it. he goes through deserts complaining about stuff, and he's like, Edgar, you pinhead! And he just doesn't care. He freaking ushers in the apocalypse, and he becomes basically a god, building a monument out of basic rubbles and stuff. Because he's freaking insane. He's just too awesome. Yeah. So yeah, basically the Resistance has to overthrow the Empire and stuff. And all of that will amount to Terra discovering her true self, and meeting all other colorful characters along the way, including Edgar and Sabin, two brothers of Figaro Castle, who actually have a very interesting backstory. Cyan of Doma, you know, loses his family, and, well, has to make the Empire pay because of it. Celeste, a former general of the Empire, I guess, who turned Returner, who was pretty cold at first, but eventually she opens up to the Returners, and according to and apparently like opening up to one person, aka Locke, who I guess is the leader of the Return. No, that's Bannon. No, that's Bannon, who is the leader of the Returners. Locke is the treasure hunter, who Celeste opens up to, and he's pretty cool, I guess. Pretty much out of all the, well, central characters, I guess, I feel most attached to, Edgar, Sabin, Terra, and Celeste. Not sure about Setzer, though, you know, the dude who owns the airship. Not really sure if I feel attached to him. Maybe Gal, maybe? I don't know. I don't know about anything like Gao or what was one of the other dudes' name? I forget. Yeah, I forget. Strago and Realm are pretty cool characters, to be honest. Like, I like their relationship going in. Like, Realm is always arguing. They're always arguing with each other, yet they're helping out each other. So, yeah, I really like that. And sad to say, I feel more attached to these characters than I do Mother 3 because, well, I do feel attached to Lucas. I do feel attached to Boney because Boney is freaking cool. I do feel somewhat attached to Kumatora, but Duster, I'm not really too sure. I'm not really too sure about that. I do like the characters in Mother 3, though. I really do. But I feel these characters just beat them out by just a hair. By just a hair. Or rather, the main characters, I suppose. Not really the temporary characters you meet up in the game, like, Bannon, General Leo. I'm just not too sure about them. But either way, I do feel like the story is, it's just grand. I mean, shoot. It goes from simple, oh yeah, we gotta stop the Empire and stuff, to Kefka causes the apocalypse and we have to get back all of our friends and stuff. Oh my god. Never before has a game successfully made the or at least any game that I played, has successfully managed to get the apocalypse into its plot. Basically, the apocalypse happens. And that's when the second half of the game starts, is, well, the world of ruin, basically. And I do have to say, though, like, the entire, like, you know, interlude of the entire, like, introduction to the world of ruin is freaking depressing, man. And yes, I will spoil this, because it contains one of my favorite scenes in the game. Well, if not my favorite scene, I don't know. I know that one scene you're thinking of, but anyway. Well, basically, after the apocalypse begins, we wake up in the shoes of Celeste and Sid, Celeste's granddad, and she has to take care of him because Sid has been taking care of himself for nearly a year since the apocalypse. And he's fallen ill, and you get to decide whether or not you save him or not. Well, you can save him, and it'll be all, like, happy and stuff. It's like, yeah, I'm feeling all better. Thanks, Celeste. By the way, I'd like to tell you something. I've been building this raft here just so you can find your friends. Thank you, I'll go do that. Bye! And there we go, World of Ruin time. On the other hand, you allow him to die by feeding him rotten fish. Sid dies. and Celeste, freaking consumed by despair, feels like there's no going on. All of her friends could possibly be dead. And she freaking attempts suicide. I'm not joking. She attempts suicide in a Super Nintendo game. And I freaking cried because of that. And this is pretty much cementing Celeste as my favorite character. I don't know why, but she is. She just is. I can't really say anything more than that, but yeah, the story in itself is just really grand. Well, including the opera, my god, the opera. They added choir in the Super Nintendo game. They seriously pushed the Super Nintendo to its limits, and they freaking done it. They just freaking done it. Yeah. They just did it. There's a story within a story in the opera, and you have to freaking memorize your lines and stuff, and it leads to Aria de Mezzero, blah blah blah. And leads to that, and that is without a doubt one of my favorite songs in the game, but we'll get to music later on. But anyway. Gameplay, it's just like, you know, an RPG. You level up and stuff, you get items, you get equipment and whatever, but I think it's more or less relying on how much you equip your stuff and whether you get the best equipment or not that you can succeed in the game, because, well, when I got to the final area of the game, I was, like, in my, I got, like, the characters that I've gotten for, Kefka's Tower, up to, like, over level 55 or something, like, upper 50s, except for Celeste and Terra, which are level 60-something. I think Terra was, like, level 69 or something, and Celeste was, like, 66. That's only, like, if you know... It's, like, only if you know where the best equipment in the game... What am I trying? It's only if you know where the best equipment is in a game and stuff that you can actually go in there at, like, a lower level. In fact, when I actually saw, Brain Scratch Com's, playthrough of this, or commentary of this, I think it was, like, in part 40 when they got to Kefka's Tower, the characters were, like, at level 40 or something, so I guess he had, like, some of the best equipment in the game or something? I don't know, but I think in my case, I think I had to freaking level up, actually. And I researched as I went along, and as much as I would have liked to do that, I probably wouldn't have done it, because, well, always in my first run through of the game, I always want to, like, beat the game as much as I can. And when I eventually start my second playthrough, I'm going to just try to get everything I can. And try to level up as best as I can, for that matter. Yeah. And what I feel it all really comes down to is whether or not you can get used to the ATB battle system. Because, like, everyone, and that means everyone, enemies, your party, they take a few seconds to get their turn. Like, you get a turn every few seconds. And I didn't really see what the big deal is with that, first of all. But, you know, I eventually warmed up to it, and yeah, it's actually a really good battle system. Well, that is if you're going for the easy way out, meaning you have to choose wait on the options. That way, enemies won't attack you while you're making a decision whether or not you want to do an attack or use an item or not. When you're going for active, however, I'm pretty sure you're trying to hurry up as best as you can, because that's what I did, even if I couldn't, like, wait to it or whatever. I actually found this game kick my ass a few times, actually. Like, when I was in Kefka's Tower, I attempted it, like, twice, and I just freaking couldn't do it. My party was annihilated, so I had to go back all the way to prepare for it again. And that's when I got the notion to, like, magic grind, level grind, you know, all that jazz. Well, at least all the characters I could have gotten. I left Shadow on the floaty continent to die. Yeah. Unfortunately, I couldn't save him because I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could let him live. But, anyway. Yeah, this game can be really hard sometimes, and That's particularly if you're going for, like, the dragons or whatever in the second half of the game at the World of Ruin. Which, I think I did the Ice Dragon? I fought against the Ice Dragon, like, once, you know, in Narsh, but I couldn't really find, like, me beating it. I was pretty much too underleveled to do anything. Well, now I feel like that I can do it. Probably in my second playthrough, I'll go ahead and defeat all those dragons that I can. And try to get the best equipment in the game, because, well, I will research like hell. I will basically research like hell how to do things, and yeah, I'll grind up as much as I can, and then I'm gonna do that, so yeah. Yeah, this game can be hard, but if you know what you're doing, it's not really that bad. It's just not too bad. I actually find the customization system in the Espers and the Relics and the equipment stuff to be rather unique experience, actually. You know, any character can learn anything so long as they're equipped with the proper Esper, and once they learn that magic permanently. And I really like that. That is actually really a customizable experience. Yeah. That's actually a really good customizable experience. And yeah, I pretty much got, like, everyone learning Fire 3, Ice 3, and Bolt 3. Because those are my essential attacks. And I know I didn't get all the Espers in the game, but I will try next time. I shall try. Which means this will probably be up to a 40-hour adventure for me. Oh god. This game is the longest game I've ever played, and I only just got introduced to the Final Fantasy series. I heard Final Fantasy IV is shorter, but, well, that's the one I'm going to go after next. And I'm not really sure how long Final Fantasy VII is going to be, because, like I said before in that Twilight Princess video, where I thought about the idea of making an Impressions video series, whenever I get my next Steam Funds card, I will immediately purchase 7. Because, well, everyone keeps saying it's the best game ever, or rather the best RPG ever, but I don't know, maybe there'll be some things I don't like about there, who knows. Those models look terrible, I might add. Yeah, but anyway, about the graphics and audio, I love the graphics. They really push the Super Nintendo to the limit, and I'm crazy about Mode 7 graphics. I am. And when you get the airship for the first time, I'm just like, oh my god, this looks so good. This looks so good for Mode 7 and for Super Nintendo. These are probably some of the best retro graphics I've ever seen in a video game, and that is saying a lot. Considering what I played, like, Mega Man 4. Like, I'm playing through Mega Man 4, and those graphics are pretty good, and Mega Man 2 and 3's graphics are pretty good for NES. And I think I would go out of my way of saying these rival Mother 3 as probably the best, well, the best 2D graphics I've ever seen. But I'm not really sure, like, maybe Sonic 3? But I don't know. I haven't really pinpointed my locations, pinpointed my thoughts to, like, what the best graphics are in, like, a 2D game. Or rather, a retro game. But, yeah. Anyway, about the music. I can honestly say right now that Final Fantasy VI has the best soundtrack in any Super Nintendo game I've ever played. I've heard some songs on Earthbound. I do like the battle themes in that, especially Pokey Means Business. But nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to beat out all of the opera scene and Dancing Mad. My god, Dancing Mad. Oh my god. It's pretty much the best final boss theme I've ever heard. And it comes in 4 parts too, and just the organ and the orchestra. My god, I love that theme! Oh my god. Especially the third tier. The third tier of Dancing Mad. Oh my god. And what other themes I really enjoy? Like Celeste's theme. It is without a doubt the most depressing theme I've ever heard in a video game. I'm sorry. Every time I listen to it, I feel like I want to cry. Well, almost as much as I want to cry at I'm Finished from Mother, or rather, it is finished from Mother 3. You know, the final part of the final boss in Mother 3. Oh my god, seriously. Oh man. I really enjoy the battle theme too, but... or rather the random battle theme. But I feel like Final Fantasy IV's battle theme is better. It's just better. It feels a lot more epic that way. And I haven't listened to the entire soundtrack yet, but I will get around to it. So, yeah. So far, from what I've listened to, really, really good soundtrack. I really, really just enjoy it. Just so much. But anyway, complaints. If you're not really a Final Fantasy nerd, it could get some used to with the whole ATB battle system and everything. Because I went through a few times where I got screwed over because of the ATB battle system. You know, where everyone gets a turn like every few seconds. Let's see. What other things I could do? I could talk about. What other complaints? I can't really find any other complaints other than, well, you getting used to the whole ideal of the battle system or whatever. What other thing? I can't think of anything else that I could really complain about, actually. I don't know. Some of the random encounters could really kick your ass if you're not prepared. Well, equipment-wise and level-wise. Maybe. But I can't really find any sort of complaint that I have with the game. Well, not ones that I'm thinking of, but I don't know. I'm just prospecting on the fact here is like what I'm saying here is final. Like, this is what I think. Of course my opinions could change, but I don't know. Can't really think of anything else that I could talk about this. But really, in conclusion, Final Fantasy VI just immediately shot up to being one of my favorite games of all time the moment I beat the final boss. This is without a doubt one of my most favorite games of all time, and without a doubt the best RPG I've ever played. Like, a really long adventure, and I'm just enjoying it so much. Like, if you're not going after everything, it could take you over 30 hours, but if you're going after every single little thing, if it's your first time through, it could take you, like, slightly longer, like 35 hours, or maybe even up to 50. Yeah, up to 50 hours. Did I mention these were going to be vlog-like styles, except with me not appearing on camera? But, yeah. Final Fantasy VI. Oh my god. The first Final Fantasy I've actually completed, and I've only just started on my Final Fantasy experience. I just hope some of these other games that I'm thinking about, like 4, 7, 9, I could probably go for, actually. Oh man. So many possibilities, and I can honestly say without a doubt that if I feel like the time is right, I absolutely will Let's Play Final Fantasy VI. I absolutely will. Because, for those of you who haven't played this game before, or were interested in it, what the heck is the matter with you? Go get it right now. Just do it. Just do it. Get it on the Virtual Console for like, or download it. I don't care. Just get it. Just get it. This game is so good. Oh, man. And I'm still in the aftershock of it, too. Oh, man. Just after the ending sequence. Just, oh my god. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about Final Fantasy VI. Oh, man. Such an amazing game. And yeah. To the creator of the Final Fantasy series, I thank you for making this game and this series. To Nobuo Uematsu, you freaking rock, sir! You are a SNES god. Well, because, you know, most of you who probably haven't played Final Fantasy probably have heard his composition in Brawl as the composer of the Brawl theme. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about it. So, get the game if you hadn't gotten it already. Just do it. Anyway, I will see you guys later with possibly more Let's Play stuff. Bye.